expose the same old story that I heard yesterday. Yeah, it goes the headlines, man. They all just go to blame. They're framed and fixed and rigged. You know they're all just spam. So buckle down, look right in. It crawls its way under your skin. Just got by the things they spout, and it will make you shout. Give me that good news.
Because I'm tired of the same old shit.
Right? I like it better when you talk to shows. Just don't have that voice.
No, we are not.
Hey, good morning, everybody, and welcome to 216 The Grounds with Giles and Jones. I'm Giles.
I'm Jones.
Good-looking guy over there in the blues, Jones.
Yeah, and of course, Uncle Pete's got the StreamYard.com URL up there.
Ural.
Go ahead and throw that up into your URL. Join this show from wherever you are. Look, our good friend Don Severson said, I couldn't sleep, so good to see you.
Couldn't see.
Been a while.
Good morning, Don, all the way from Grapevine, Texas.
Don, you lose a bet.
You got to get up early.
Get down the grounds. Of course, the grounds brought to you through the financial support of our good friends
Over at Community Home Inspection. We care about your home like it's yours. If you're looking to buy, sell, or just maintenance, give us a call. We'll come in, take a look at it, let you know what's going on with the property. One of the most important and one of the biggest investments most people make in their entire life. So make sure you maintain it.
Right there, Community Home Inspection.
Yeah. Oh, well, no, not that.
And then a good shout out to our friends of the show over there at JH Flowers and Events. Listen, it's $5 Friday over there here in town. So if you go to JH Flowers and Events, ask for the $5 bouquet and say you heard it here at 21.6. They'll give you one that Tom's Productions is going to pay for.
Yeah, that's actually, I picked some of those up last week too.
Yeah.
Those are really nice. You know,
They are.
Really affordable, you know, if money's a deal, but they're just really nice flowers. I got some for mom, got some for
we love
my
them
wife,
over there.
My daughter.
It's great.
So
stuff.
Go check them out. They're right there at Green Street and Charles J. Miller.
Was this show or jail? And
You chose us over jail. Oh,
right.
Don, thanks so much. We appreciate that one.
Right.
Holy cow!
So, if anybody out there has anything that they want to discuss or put up there, go ahead. Because as the show states, we got nothing.
Well, we got a lot. It's just not, you know, what specific stuff we're trying to tie down to, you know. I mean, well, this week for me, I mean, this was the kickoff of basically summer, really, for
kickoff
events.
of summer,
even
events.
though it's not summer yet. But I mean, like the farmers market took off.
Okay.
This week, last night was the first farmers market down in McHenry. If you guys have never been there, and for all you people overseas,
So
if you want to make the trek over,
just out of curiosity, how many farmers are there?
we're all farmers in deep down inside.
No, how many farmers are there?
I think we only had probably realistically one. Everyone
So that
else was
would
just
be
local. So then it'd be a local market.
Yeah, that would be the farmer.
Yeah. So you want us to change the name?
Well, farmers. I mean, is it apostrophe S or is it a S as in plural?
What would be the correct spelling? I don't know.
Well, that's why I'm asking.
I failed English.
Because farmers without the apostrophe would mean that there's a lot of farmers there. Farmers with apostrophe means that market belongs to the one farmer who is there.
Sure, let's go with number 2 then. I'll go with that one if we're going to go politically correct on that one. But something started for a great reason, right?
Sal Villalobos says plastic or paper. We could talk a lot about that and or chemtrails. Anybody?
Oh, God. My wife on yet this morning? She'll hit you up on that one. Holy cow, the chemtrails thing. I mean, is that something?
Sure, we go with it if you want.
Well, I know. I mean, is that something that you believe in? I mean, there's so many different theories to chemtrails. And what's really happening.
Again, the way that I would start any conversation. It's called the Pearl Street Market, so it can be
she is
everything.
listening.
Thank you, Pearl Street Market. So that's better than a farmer's.
Yeah,
I'll go with that because it is actually on.
It is actually on Pearl Street.
Pearl Street.
Yes, correct. So that's good. So I misspoke. Thank you, Deidre. Appreciate you coming in this morning.
So I'm okay with either plastic or paper and or chemtrails, but let's narrow the focus. So define chemtrails for me so that I can have a somewhat knowledgeable conversation about it, and or what part of plastic or paper are we looking for? Is it how plastic has ruined this earth? Because
ruining. It's continually.
Or is it that we were so afraid that we would run out of oxygen with paper that they're cutting down the rainforests? I don't. You tell me.
12 different ways. Hey, we made you 2 cups of coffee.
I didn't know which direction you wanted to go.
So we figured we'd really fire you up. What's up, brother?
Drew Cappuccino, everybody.
In here, but he's drinking coffee, just so everyone understands.
What's up, guys?
And he's drinking from paper.
I think there might be some plastic in there.
I don't know, but Kent is drinking from plastic
Extra
and
flavor?
metal.
It's all metal, baby.
There's
no plastic.
What do you think that coating on the
That's
outside of it is?
that's the Alzheimer's cup.
That's the Alzheimer's cup, right?
Remember you got it on tin foil?
That's right.
Remember that?
Yeah.
It's got a mixture of both in there, sir.
That's right.
Just so you understand. I know that business.
And hey, Tim, good morning. And Sal is saying condoms.
That's
you
plastic.
own
What the
plastic
hell
or
did I
paper?
walk into?
You don't know. We
Well,
don't
we got
know either
nothing.
yet.
We got nothing. So I said, hey, throw us some things. So we got paper or plastic and chemtrails. And all I said is be specific so I can have at least a good conversation
Sure.
or somewhat knowledgeable.
Oh, you guys want to talk about something?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Okay,
we
let's
just
talk
want to
about-
sit here and look at you
Let's
because
do
you're
it.
so good looking this morning.
Well, I know. At least your eyes are working.
Are you fired up today?
Oh, I'm fired up.
Okay, I'm leaving. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in today.
PBA leaching into drinking water.
Ooh, BPA, that's a big one.
Yeah.
That's the one a lot of people talk about that
Mm.
BPA free when it comes to like water bottles.
Better
It's a
than
chemical.
It's better than BPA. You know.
You anywhere?
I got nothing. What did I walk into?
That's
I don't
right.
know,
What's
but
wrong with you people?
well, that's it. No, but I
You
mean,
plan it all, Scott, for your show, or no?
No, we don't. That's why
this
it's called
is
the Browns.
dude. This
I
is
know.
not called a weekly
That's it.
plan and go. This is called let Drew come in and
Let me ask
go
you a
where he
question.
needs to go.
No, let me ask you a question. What makes a narcissist a narcissist? How about that question? Is that going?
Define
I was
narcissist.
going to say define.
Well, that's what I'm asking you. What makes a narcissist a narcissist?
You're asking. I don't know.
What is the
give us
def- what-
definition of a narcissist?
Do you not know the definition of a narcissist?
Drew.
Then if you don't know that, then you might be one. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I've heard for many years that some politicians are narcissists.
Yeah.
Right? But I'm not quite sure.
Well,
what they really mean.
politicians, people on boards.
Well, let's
Become-
actually. You know what? I'm gonna step away from the narcissist piece, right?
Yeah.
okay.
But
Well, it was nice knowing you guys. See you later.
Yeah, thanks.
let's address both paper, plastic, and chemtrails. And Shayna says asked the AI chat thing about geoengineering, and then asked about chemtrails. It contradicts itself. Have you tried playing with chat yet? Yeah, I'm part of the Google Bard. Bard is Google's AI that they're trying to create, so I get to play with that. AI not taking over jobs; it's creating jobs. Anyway, all right. Says like I can fight all day with people. It's like the robots in auto manufacturing. Oh, look at all the jobs it took away. No, but look at all the jobs it's created.
Right. Just depends.
It's
on
a
which
different
way you
skill
look at
set.
it, right.
It's a different skill
set.
So anyway,
Perception.
Anyway, let's talk about. I would love to talk about the chemtrails. I'd love to talk about everything that is quote unquote ruining this planet.
Is that what we're talking about?
I would love to.
Okay.
We're going ruining the planet. All
I-
right. Well,
I would
mean-
love
Well,
to.
I dove into something else because it didn't seem like you guys had anything going.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right?
Well, I'm just going with what the live studio
What?
audience.
Dude, stop making a pearl. Let's do it.
That's
All right.
It's a Pearl Street Market. It's not
That's
a Pearl.
right. So where are you guys at on Save the Earth and all this
I'm all
paper,
about-
plastic,
right.
chemtrails?
So we're not really saving the earth. We're saving ourselves. The earth just takes that on as second nature, right? So it just becomes part of the earth. The earth doesn't need saving. We do. Those are things that change the earth that make it bad for us.
Yeah.
You know, the planet can sneeze and we all be gone, but it'd still be there. It doesn't really matter. You know how many things have hit this planet? You know how many things that it's been through? We're just like a speck.
We're a blip.
Yeah, we're a
blip
speck,
in the whole
and
time.
we'll always be a speck.
Right, but I think and I appreciate some of the people like paper and plastic. I mean, really, from a standpoint, you look at the manufacturing of either one, right? So to make paper, we cut down trees. Trees give us oxygen and replenish and get rid of all the crap
Do they?
in the air, right? Yeah,
Oh, is
they
that
do.
true?
Yeah, it's like a narcissist.
Oh, I
They
didn't
bring it
know.
on,
I
get
didn't
rid of
know
it, take it up. No, but the plastic that is something I just actually saw something the other day. It was amazing. It was insane. It's the amount of plastic bottles per day that get used is like 9 billion bottles a day of plastic water, which that stuff is not, you can't really, people always talk about recycling and breaking down and reusing. That stuff really can't be broken down because the type of plastic they use for that, they grind it up and they put it into more plastic that's being molded. It's called regrind. They regrind it up, put it back in. It can never be dissolved or get rid of it. Doesn't, when it gets into the landfill, it does not decompose.
Okay.
So I mean, it's filling up our landfills with crap that's leaching. Sal brings up a really good point about the BPA.
What up, Sal?
I'm not sure exactly what BPA the stands for. I'm Deidre, if you can jump in on us, but that's been known to cause a lot of different issues.
Yeah, there are plastic islands floating in the oceans.
There are.
True.
It's
true.
sad. It's really,
sad.
A lot of people that don't have any idea.
No, but some of the plastic islands are great because people have made them islands. So they attach plants.
Islands are great.
No, they attach plants to them and sand and
They've been doing that with.
There's nothing wrong with that. I got no issue with that.
They've been taking the 6-pack holders for the pop, and they've been actually stringing those together to help start.
It's a lot of turtles,
right? Right, but it's to do the
too soon.
Turtle.
What movie's that?
God. I like the fact that they use plastic for things that make sense, like their own floating islands. It does fill up our landfills. That's true. So does other things.
There's a lot
of plastic the 100% enemy here? No. I mean, where do you think everything comes from?
Well, it starts with the earth and some type of mineral or something that we're making to create,
so
right?
Once again, the planet just becomes part of it.
So
what happens to us. Does it ruin our soil?
Well, it's not. Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of different. There's a lot of different things that happen.
So now we just need to figure out what to do with the plastic. Plastic is awesome, man. You can use plastic for a lot of things. A lot of things are made of plastic, and they've helped mankind move forward. It's just about how do we utilize it and keep utilizing it in a recycling fashion. That would be the true answer to taking it out of the ground, right? So there's use for everything. It's just about how you utilize it.
Well, there is, but there's certain plastics that also cannot be broken down and reused, and that's part of the problem. And I think when you ask,
we just haven't found a way to reuse it.
At this point, we have not.
That doesn't mean
but the amount that's being created every day. No,
we just pile it all at Scott's house until we figure it out.
You can never say can't, but it's how long till that comes in that we can actually develop something that will help us.
We already got AI.
Will it be in our lifetime?
In some kind of direction.
Will it be in our lifetime? Probably not.
Maybe. Who knows?
I mean, I think the reason that a lot of people come up with it is I'm guessing is what has the least effect, the least negative effect on us as a world and people. I mean, people are going to affect, like you say, the world. It's going to sneeze on it, and replenish itself, right? But do we know that? We don't know. We're learning every day on what happens, what doesn't happen, what we can do, what we can't do to help this whole situation. So it's kind of a lesser in two evils because plastic is a kind of a man-made thing. I mean, they're taking a lot of different chemicals and a lot of different products and putting them together to put this product out. Paper is pretty simple. You cut down a tree, you mill it, you grind it into pulp. Right? You don't know?
Oh, no, I'm listening to
Okay.
the circles that you're talking in. But yeah, I'm listening.
So I mean, what are you? Are you a paper or plastic guy?
Well, I mean, I'm definitely a paper guy. I just feel it's easier on the environment.
Said the guy who sells plastic dildos.
I know, right?
They're not plastic.
Right.
They're rubber.
All those baggies that he uses
Polyurethane.
for the other side of the store.
Yeah.
Hey, Lisa, how are
We
you?
got to send people out so they're not carrying them in hand, right?
Yeah. So,
Morning, Facebook user.
That's Lisa.
So anyway, here's my take.
They coming from?
It's a cop on a rooftop. They're probably coming. So my take is this. Back when I was a kid, my first my first employee job, right? And not the newspaper because I was 1099 on the newspaper.
Your
route.
first W-2.
First W-2.
Yeah.
Got paid $3.50 an hour, which
That's
was
big
great.
money.
High V.
That's big money.
There's a helpful smile in every aisle. Hy-Vee food stores. I was the bottle.
That's in Iowa, in case you're not.
I was the bottle
Right.
boy,
Figured it
and
was some kind of
so my job, silicone. Deidre says on
Yes,
the
it is
dildos.
silicone, yeah.
Thank
you, Deidre.
So my job as the bottle boy was to separate like pop bottles and beer bottles into
Separate containers.
put them back in their
Right, the containers.
yeah,
so
the carriers, and then you had a 7-Up wall here, you had a Coke wall here, and a Pepsi wall here. The beer bottles got thrown in just into a bin, and they got recycled, and then all the cans, of course, in Iowa are 5 cents a can. People bring those back, and that would just go and be crushed, the aluminum, and recycled that way. And there were no plastic bottles at that time.
I thought that whoever came up with the whole 5 cents a can deal was a brilliant dude.
And when you take a look
incentive.
when you take a look at the plastic industry, when you take a look at the paper industry, the plastic companies and owners and marketers said, "Ooh, cutting trees down bad," right? It's much like people who say in the meat industry, "Ooh, you can't just kill helpless cows." Well, the whole part of the cow gets used. The leather gets used for furniture, cars, so it's quite a thing. And what we're good at in America is giving people, helping people not understand what they don't know, right? So Ray Zelinsky, the auto parts king, said it best. What the American people don't know makes them the American people. Right.
I love that quote.
Right. And so the plastic,
right?
so the plastic people came out then in the mid to late 80s and said, "Hey man, you keep cutting down trees in the year 2020, you're not going to be able to breathe because of paper." And everybody's like, "Oh, yeah, they're right. Trees, they cause oxygen. I need to breathe.
It was the easiest.
I'm going
easiest thing to
plastic."
follow.
Hey, and you know what? Plastic, we can just recycle. It's great. Yeah, plastic. I'm on plastic. Right? And that's what the American,
get him high this morning.
that's what the American public does. And the American public had no idea. And now we're
that's and that statement right there. The American public has no idea.
and now we're feeling the effects of the plastic industry.
Right.
With all the plastic everywhere. But what you're neglecting to see is most of these uncontrollable forest fires are because the forests haven't been managed. They haven't been cut down and replanted. There is a cycle that goes on.
Right. Or control burn.
Or control burn.
Control burns.
So now we've got all these dead trees or trees that should have been made into number 2 pencils. Or
do they still make those?
Oh, I got them in my
number
bag.
2. Why is it number 2 and not number 1? Because most people use it.
Right?
It should be number 1.
So the idea is, and again, we're dumb. We're dumb Americans. Like, oh my God, forest fire. Oh, everything's burning down. It's because the world's getting hotter. What? Good
well, you're
Lord.
right. You raise a good point, Kent. So, I mean, listen. The only thing that there's an overpopulation of is people.
That's it.
And so we wouldn't have to go and cycle through any of this stuff if we weren't here, because the planet would just naturally do it on its own.
Yeah.
But we're the ones that start the fires. We're the ones that
pollute,
force breeding on animals. We're the ones that, I mean, it's just endless, right? We're the problem.
Yeah, we are.
So
100%.
plastic, once
100%.
again, plastic's not the problem.
No.
We're the problem.
Yeah, so humans bad, plastic's not bad.
Right. But there's got to be a balance.
To Sal's point, he's like, most of our clothing now is polyester. We're wearing plastic all the time.
That's the one thing that they did find with the the plastic bottles that they're using, the HDPE, is they're actually pulling it apart and turning it into the material that goes into jeans and clothes, and they're turning it in. So it
happens when those don't fit anymore. Then what do you do? Say they go to Goodwill.
Well, that's what he says. They go down to South America.
Right. Well, we send
creating mountains of clothing with dyes and plastic.
Right. And that's one thing people don't realize. Almost every piece of clothing you wear has a little bit of plastic.
Yeah.
in it.
Well, yeah, of course.
Well, most people don't know that. They don't realize that you can actually, when you break it down to its basic molecules, that you can actually turn it into something somewhat soft, at least blending it into it.
Thanks, Professor. You're awesome.
Now
But I did
here again.
glass is molded in general.
Here again, I mean, you can go over, you go to a foreign country, and it's different. They might wear cotton. They might, you know what I mean?
Well, in a lot of
We
foreign
don't
countries have
know.
a lot. I mean, they used to, but a lot of them had glass. Like you'd go to out of the country and stuff like that, and all their sodas.
They're wearing glass.
No.
Oh.
As far as drinks,
Why
and
would they
stuff
wear
like
glass?
I don't.
That.
Yeah.
I don't think they figured out how to make that
Right.
into clothing yet.
That'd be
Unless
weird.
we could probably get that at the
Yeah.
Fantasy Factory. We could probably get glass clothing at Fantasy. But
Hey.
no, they were mainly
Oh,
using.
God.
They were mainly using glass products.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
Drinking and even going to a bar or even a side place.
There's
it's all glass,
places that still use clay carafes.
which is great, and that's probably the best of all worlds, right? I mean, we should be using the old clay stuff. We should be getting on a little maker's wheel and making up our own glass. That's all you get for us.
Only if I can sit behind you.
What's that?
Only if I can sit
Hold on to
behind
me.
you.
What was that movie?
Ghost.
Ghost. That's it. Yeah, Pete's here right now with that movie.
Yeah.
Start spinning that.
So
That's an image control delete
yeah.
and task.
Well, you're welcome for that one,
Right,
folks.
no
way.
Let's just throw a face.
Wow.
All right,
face
so
up
now
there.
it's instead of two dumb guys talking about crazy shit. Now it's three.
There he is.
Thanks.
There he
See what
is.
they did to me?
So he's straddling you, making clay.
We dumbed you down.
Right
Oh,
there.
Uncle
Is that what
Pete.
you're saying?
Good old Uncle
Yeah.
Pete. All right.
Good.
So
About time.
So now here's the other thing. So now we look at things and we want to go down wormholes and things of that nature. And we see these big jet airliners, and there are chemical trails. We call them chemtrails that come out of these big old jet airliners.
I love
What-
reading that. It's awesome.
What chemicals? Help me understand what chemicals those are.
I'm not sure, and I think Deidre can help us out on a little bit on that one.
Truth of the matter, Mary Shep says.
Mary.
Of course, you remember
Good
Mary.
morning, Mary.
Good
right
morning.
here, living low sodium.
Yeah.
She's
Truth of the. We'd love to have her back anyway,
I know.
but she's so busy and successful, and I just have to think that it's all because of 21/6 and that we really
She's
catapulted
really
her.
catapulting
It's not her hard work. It's not her brilliance
I'm
at being a
pretty sure-
business
I'm
person.
pretty sure Mary made 21 cents. Don't-
She carried us
don't
for a
try to
while. She
swap that
trust me,
out of
she
her.
carried
She's
us for a while.
awesome. Yeah.
Truth of the matter is, we are nothing more than a what is that?
proverbial
Yeah.
pimple.
Yeah, pimple on this mind. I agree. A tiny little blip in the extreme space of time. The planet was here before us, and it will be long
Heal
after.
after
It's exactly what I was saying.
self-destruct,
Yeah.
right?
It's exactly what I was saying. Yeah, you're 100% right,
Yeah.
Mary.
Yeah.
Well, but
Great minds think
everyone's-
alike,
everyone's
man.
trying
You
to-
are 100% right.
Yeah.
It's all 216.
Well, and it's trying to figure out so a lot of us are trying to figure out
So-
the balance, right? To be the least
We're just worried about the
Hat-
balance
hard
for us.
So
That's
well,
that's
right.
it.
Well, some people are worried. I mean, like for me, I know that the world is not going to be a complete shit show by the time I die. I'm more worried about my kids and my grandkids and what the world that we're leaving them. And I think that's what a lot of people are trying to make it a little bit better for down the way.
Okay.
Yeah, I know you don't agree with that one.
I didn't say anything.
But
Mhm.
I mean, for me, we're trying to do it like
I
a
do
lot of
agree
people
with
try to do the best that they can
Mm.
to help preserve this
Mm.
earth. I
You
don't
got-
think people
You
realize
got
that
central
earth
air
is
in your
probably
house?
regenerative. No, I don't. No, I just open my windows and blow on myself.
Okay.
Yeah. How about you?
Because if you have central air in your house, then you're lying. You don't give a
Part of-
shit about your grandkids and great
Part of the
grandkids.
problem.
So
Yeah.
don't talk out of
No, I
both
don't give
sides.
a shit.
Don't talk about both sides of your mouth.
It just got weird, folks.
I'm just saying.
It just got
Yeah.
weird.
Hey, look who's in.
We were talking about chemtrails. What
Yeah,
happened?
Kawa 47 NLD. Glad to have you out there in Twitch land.
You were in the
Were you
middle of-
talking about the chemicals and what chemicals you think are
Yeah.
coming into that? And I said, I don't
That's
know.
what I want to know.
I don't know either.
And what is it? What is the whole premise behind quote unquote?
I always
chemtrails.
So I mean, listen, I have no idea what's coming out of those things. I can say this though. I know how an engine works. You do too, right? You know that there's exhaust.
Right.
You know
right.
that I know it could be based upon the fuel that they're putting in those engines and how it's
Well, what-
evaporating through
Right. Well, what
combustion.
What they say it is they say the chemtrails are literally just moisture because the engine is so hot and the atmosphere
that,
is so cold.
that would make sense.
It does make sense. But when somebody puts in that question into your head of chemical trails, because that's a way for them to get rid of stuff that they can't necessarily do down here on Earth, right? Like some of the things that we do to get rid of chemicals here on Earth that aren't in chemtrails. For instance, a horrible one is fluoride in our water, chlorine in our water, right?
The
Fluoride.
COVID shot.
in our water. Well, I heard that they're starting to give.
Can
the
we say
animals-
that word?
No,
I
I
think
heard
The CV
CV. But so
19.
there are a lot of chemicals.
I don't
out
want to
there.
get bounced. We just got back on YouTube.
Oh,
We don't.
should I say it again?
Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday too.
If people really thought we were destroying the planet, we would not drive cars, make plastic, use electricity, etc.
I don't know if a lot of people actually think about it, to be honest with you. I think a lot of people are just so involved in their day to day that they don't think about a lot of these issues, or they choose not to because they'll feel like, I can't do anything. What am I going to do? I'm just a, whatever, a car salesman or a, realtor or a home inspector. You know what I mean? Some people just, they're oblivious, right? They don't think about stuff like this. And that's, it's in a way kind of part of the problem, right? If you don't think about it, you're part of the problem. You think about it, which side of the argument
so
would be on, right? There's not a lot of winning, but there is trying,
right?
Trying to do the best thing. And that's what, for me, I really respect people that actually try. They might do something and fail, even though failure is not really failure. It's just figuring out a way not to do something.
It's just education.
Right?
Sure.
Right. It's education.
So
and that's really
So
important.
Shayna says silver and potassium iodide are two of the chemicals they're spraying.
I have no idea.
So how do we know that?
Of the chemical
What is
controls?
putting a meter up there? I don't know.
So where
These are
is
things
the
that people
silver?
talk
You
and
know,
potassium
I'm telling you,
how does that work?
You ever see rap stars? It's all over their teeth.
What?
It's silver.
Yeah,
I don't know about the potassium, but the silver. Hell, I'll buy the silver.
Okay.
Get rid of the silver. Silver's worth money.
DJ Giggly Giggle.
that's it.
DJ Cappuccino.
Yeah, there you go.
You look like you're
Nuclear.
DJing today
I
with
am.
your backward hat.
Wiki, wiki, wiki.
Wiki, wiki, wiki.
So yeah, and Don
Big
says,
colors on?
we've been told 40 times in the last 8 to 12 years, or 10 times in the last 40 years, that 8 to 12 years we have left before the Earth is destroyed. Here's the whole thing that I want to tell people.
That's fear.
Here's the whole thing that I want to tell people. When this Earth decides to go,
We won't know. It'll just be done.
yeah,
It's just.
I want you to understand. It's not a Hollywood movie at that point.
Right.
When
Like I said, the planet can sneeze.
So. Right.
done.
Right.
Yeah.
So
You know what I mean?
Right.
So here's one of the things that I've heard and understand. So obviously everyone talks in the world about control, right?
Mhm.
I mean, the government wants to control us. We're not talking about that specifically, but so I've heard and understand that one of the thoughts is with these chemtrails is the chemicals coming out of them are not mind altering, but like are causing people's DNAs to alter, if you will, to
Some people pay extra for that.
Oh,
Right.
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 But these are some of the things that I've heard over time. And I mean, I don't know. Where do you go? Do you push that into Google? What are chemtrails made of? And we'll be like, excuse me, what was that? I mean, see what it says. I'll punch it in. What are chemtrails?
So
just to see what comes up on that.
So a lot of us,
Ask the Google.
That's the Google.
Ask the Google box.
in the world,
It's worth a Google.
in the United States, never seem to have a problem with the biplane spraying pesticide on the corn crops.
Well, there's a selective group. That
That's as I said, most of us,
Yeah.
right? But then we see a jet airliner cruising at 30,000 feet on a sunny day and go, there's chemicals. And then Scott's like,
hold your breath.
then Scott's like, there's the chemicals we're having a hard time disposing of here on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
You do understand the sky is still part of the Earth. And if they're spraying, gravity's going to take it.
Right. No.
Where?
What I was saying, but I'm saying,
come on.
right. But
Is that how
how
it
they're
works?
getting rid of it's different. So down here, so here.
So they're not getting rid of it then.
They're trying to disperse it so it's spread out, right? So perfect example. I don't know what's up in the chemtrails. I did pull that up, but like down here on Earth, your water has fluoride in it, right?
Sure.
All right. Fluoride is actually a well-known carcinogen. The
Mhm.
reason it's in
Sure.
our water, not to help your teeth, is because it is so expensive for them to
Do
properly
you
get rid of it.
do you grill meat on a grill? And do you ever do you grill meat on a grill?
Absolutely.
And the black char is a well-known carcinogen.
Yeah, it's
Okay,
actually
so-
meat itself is a number,
And
is-
it's
is-
delicious.
Right. Right.
Meat
So
itself is a number one.
there's a lot of
carcinogen.
well-known carcinogens.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
Well, this is it. I know, but that's something that we choose. I choose to grill a steak. I choose to put that on.
What's
my,
the
on my grill.
oldest car that you have in your collection?
The oldest car in my collection? What? 63.
Does it have a catalytic converter on it?
No. Oh my God, we went from chemtrails to cars.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying here is I don't know, and I'll pull this up, but with the fluoride, it's so expensive to get rid of properly. It's easier for them to put a small amount on our water and sell it to us that it's good for your teeth.
Yeah.
Do we buy that? Because you go to the dentist, they give you fluoride.
Yeah, sure.
I don't do fluoride, right? So what's in the chemtrails?
I usually get extra.
So Tim says right with you, Drew. He's like, yeah, if it's fuel or some sort of evaporation of it, it would be a quote unquote chemtrail, just not the conspiracy theory that people want to believe. Shayna follows that up by saying, Tim, what is geoengineering? Are there chemicals involved? Did we vote on weather modification? It's real. And it's not good.
So the chemtrail here on the Google says a visual trail left in the sky by an aircraft and believed by some to consist of chemical or biological agents released as some part of a covert operation. Conspiracy theorists have been covert.
Is it if you can see it? I mean, why wouldn't they do it at night? You can see it all the time, but I think the
covert
How
is because
covert
they're hiding
is it when like it's been happening forever?
Right. I mean, that's
from
pretty,
every airline.
It's pretty, right? I mean, to see it.
I like it.
Yeah.
Please go.
And then he said the chemtrail conspiracy theory is the erroneous belief that the long-lasting condensation trails are chemtrails consisting of chemicals or biological agents left in the sky by high-flying aircraft sprayed for nefarious purposes undisclosed to the general public.
Contrails are not chemtrails. That's what Shane says. So here's, I guess here's my stance on it all. I'm not God. I don't claim to be God. I'm on this blue marble for a fraction of whatever this blue marble has been around. Mother Earth is a lot. I mean, Mother Earth takes care of herself. Right. And if I end up getting in the way of how Mother Earth is taking care of herself, then I will perish. I'm going to perish anyway. Right. So my stance is I try to be as I love Mother Earth. I love being outside. I love the outdoors. I love nature.
Man camp, baby.
I love everything about it. And where some people's hustle is, man, I want to have a mansion and all these cars. I'm like, give me a log cabin and
the mountains are
right by the creek.
Yeah, we're right by the creek. Yeah. And so to me, I tend to worry about the things that I can control and not worry about the things that I cannot. If the United States government and or whatever enemy is up there sprinkling silver and whatever else on the earth, nothing I can do.
Well, so the only thing that you really can control is you.
Correct.
That's the only thing you
That's the only thing you can really control. Correct. So if everybody, and I think the idea is if everybody put the effort towards what you do, could better it out. And that's good for our race of mankind, right? For humanity.
Yeah.
So if you're paying attention too close to everything, everything's always going to be a problem, which creates a mindset, right? And
that's the end game plan. That's what these things are for. Keeping everybody paying attention to so many little things that they don't have control over, but they'll bitch and moan.
You're not wrong. There's a lot of the distraction.
Huge distraction.
A lot of distraction.
What we choose to allow.
But the distraction wasn't made for me and you. It was made for the newer generations, because look who's really buried into it more than anybody.
Right. Oh yeah.
So I want to say, if you just live life because you only get one, to the best you can, try not to hurt anybody in your path.
Right.
Try to do the best thing you can for your planet, for the next people that come through, and follow along with some kind of regulation in your life that's not damaging to others.
Yeah. And now, Shayna, I will gladly pick this up and run with you here. How covert is a corporation's pledge of safe and effective when profit is involved? You're absolutely right. And that's where I was going with the plastic paper. I'm
starting to think that Shayna works for like the CIA or something.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
Probably could with her
knowledge. Every time I see, and she's so smart. She really is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So, and that's where I'm going. Everything is marketing. Everything is for a buck, and we have decided to go. Wow, great! Why did the big auto industry in Detroit fail? Right, because they wanted to keep doing things one way, and across seas, we said, "Hey, we can bring these Hyundais and Kias in, make them cheaper and safer." And guess what? Where we were concerned about the big profit and continuing to make huge cars and big cars, they started going, wait a minute, let's take a look here. Right?
Yeah.
So I had the opportunity.
Good morning, Anthony.
I had the opportunity. What's up? What's up, Tony the Kid? I had the opportunity, and I do like your new show, so we'll have to talk about that, man. That was really good. Anyway, I yesterday outside of my office was an auto accident, and it was I'm gonna guess maybe like an Impala, right? Newer Impala, and a Chevy pickup truck, and looks like the Chevy pickup truck wanted to turn right, and the kid in the Impala didn't see or whatever. And I mean, the Impala is pretty well ruined. It beat up the truck pretty bad, but it's not totaled. But as I'm sitting there, mom rolls up in a white Tesla for the kid in the truck. So you got this big truck. Mom rolls up in a white Tesla, right? And oh my God, is everything okay? 10 minutes later, Dad rolls up in a white Tesla.
You got the right, like back when Ford, huh?
I'm like, why you got this big truck, big GMC, full size GMC? You all rolling up? Yeah, all right, whatever. I'm not thinking anything.
I'm not judging. I'm not judging.
At least on the outside.
I'm not judging. But no, a lot of these people, some of the Tesla love the speed of a Tesla, love the technology of a Tesla, all that.
The concept.
But a lot of people go, hey, I got to get an electric car. It's better for the environment.
That's a fallacy.
And we all know that that's a fallacy. A lot of people do that, right? And that is why Chile made a power move and made lithium their natural stone or whatever. So now China has to buy it from them. Brilliant move by Chile. The new president of Chile, he's like 33 or something. Brilliant guy. You read about it, it's great. So the problem is, again, we fall short in our thinking, and we it's like, you ever sit on a dock where there's nothing but bluegill, and the bluegill swim up, and all you got to do is just drop a piece of corn in there.
Feeding frenzy.
Yep. Yeah. And on a hook and take it out.
Yep.
And then you take the fish off, you throw it back in. You ever see the same fish go after the?
Yeah.
Right.
He doesn't learn.
That's Americans. That's who we are.
Definition of insanity.
Right.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Yeah. That's who we are. Right.
In a nutshell,
we are the bluegill down there, biting the same piece of corn on the same hook and wondering why.
Nothing different's happening.
But then I'm gonna sit on my couch and I'm gonna be like, "Oh, chemtrail's gonna kill you! Oh man, it's the real deal!" So the idea is, and I'll just sit there and I'll be miserable my whole life, but then I'll still go out and buy the things that create the chemicals that they're spraying all over the world.
Welcome to America.
That's what
you just described the typical American.
Ignorance is bliss.
Well, in a lot of respects it is. Unfortunately, some of the ignorance we got out there isn't bliss.
Shayna says, nothing I can do was likely muttered amongst neighbors when the Holocaust went down. They might have been right. That was a powerful show with the vets. Oh yeah, Roger that Chronicles yesterday. If you missed it, go get it. It was really, really good. It was talking about the Gold Star families.
Awesome.
Kirk was on. It was amazing.
It's a great show.
Don says, "I find somebody read that, would you?" Yeah.
I find it interesting. Some people accuse big
oil.
There you go. Thank you. Of only caring about profits, but don't say that about the folks making millions on green energy, much of which is subsidized by the government.
Yeah.
Well, people pick on what they know and what they've been told is bad or good, Don. I mean, think about that one. You know, I mean, what's the agenda of the day? What's everyone pissed off about this week? You know,
It
seems like everybody gets on the same roll, right?
And it's going to be about the group of network that you're surrounded by. What are they talking about? Next, you become part of that space.
And that's the hot topic for the week, and that's kind of like, you know,
I mean, it's like this, folks.
What's bougie for this?
It's like this.
You know, I mean, that's what's in.
Trending.
What's everyone going to bitch about?
Right.
Yeah, what's everyone trending?
Here in America, every year there's over 40,000 deaths caused by fentanyl. 40,000. Yet we want to fight about our constitutional right about a gun.
Right.
40,000. And why don't we? Why aren't we trying to ban fentanyl?
We say pew
there's an
pews.
agenda. There's an agenda there. Follow the
say
money.
pew
What do I
pews.
always say? Follow the money.
What?
We
Pew
say
pew.
pew
Yeah,
pews.
sorry. Pew
Right.
pews. Yeah.
Pew pews. Yeah.
Our
don't be
insurance
mean.
doesn't.
Don't
We can't
be
get
mean.
insurance because
Right.
anyway. Yeah.
But I mean, and that's a great point you put up with everything. Follow the money.
Yeah.
I mean, if these chemtrails are really putting out chemicals, who's making out of it? What are they? You know what I mean? Is it easier for them to put it on a plane and dump it than it is to bury it, or you know what I mean, to put it in our water? I mean, who knows? Where do we get these answers? And is it worth your time to? Is it really worth your time to try to dig into it? Because as you put, worry about the things you can't control. Can I control that? I don't know. Would I like to try? I think some people, and I love people when they do this. They're standing up. They're trying to make a difference. But
listen,
where do you get
I'm
your hands
around.
tied?
I'm around on a daily basis. I'm around people that make horrible decisions, and I just go, "What are you doing?"
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So you know, when it comes to what you can do, is you do you and make sure that whatever you're doing, if it's helping others, that's great. But if it's not, stop spreading bad karma. So it's, you know, you're taking on the information from other people that has been broken down 1,000 times over. And then it's a game of telephone, man. That data becomes something else.
It's 100. Well, it
And
is.
then-
It is telephone.
Then it becomes trend. And then that trend becomes everybody's like, oh, look what's happening, right?
Well, everyone wants to feel like you're together. They're getting
Common sense is not common.
Listen,
obviously.
right now, 21.6 is making the movement today. What is today? Today is May the 19th, 2023. And we'll watch this, but these are no longer smartphones. These are pocket computers. That's what we're going to do. Nobody uses a phone anymore, really. So it's a pocket computer. So if you're on the station here and you're referring to this, refer to it as a hashtag pocket computer.
All right, pocket computers.
There you go.
Okay, works for me.
PC.
Works for me.
Yeah, pocket computer.
So,
There you go.
It's a PC.
We're starting.
Even
we're,
if it's an iPhone, it's a PC.
we're starting a new trend. Somebody throw up hashtag pocket computer.
Yeah, throw it up.
We're
there.
starting it right here, and by the end of next year, I bet it's all over.
It'll be trending.
They're no longer smartphones because it's not a phone. Nobody uses.
Is it really smart?
Well, yeah,
Or
it's
is
a lot
it
smarter than I am.
intelligent? It's intelligent.
No,
It's just a connective tool. To
It's a connective
information.
tool, but it's also something. It's
there it is. Thanks.
Connective tool,
Thanks, Tony.
right?
Pocket
So-
computer.
Tony rocks.
Pocket computer.
Hey, you
He's
can
got
have
a
it.
no show.
You can have it. Yeah, it's really pretty cool. Yeah. It came in, and yeah, I think it's going to be good. But I want to talk to him about it because I just want to talk to him about it. Yeah,
I'd like to check it out.
it was him and his wife. I was pretty impressed.
That's awesome.
She should do more shows. Not you, Tony.
Not you.
She was brilliant. No, that was a
Good job. Good job,
Yeah.
Tony.
Way to marry up, buddy.
Right. Smart decisions.
Yeah, outkicked your
Smart
coverage there.
decisions.
Yeah, that's good. So here's the deal, and I think that you have to be willing.
That's what she said.
Yeah, you can't go through life without being curious. I think you need to be curious, right? If you're not curious, then yeah, the silent, and that's what happened in Germany. Okay, now the other thing that I want to also say, maybe a pet peeve of mine, is everything bad in America is always related to the Holocaust, right? Oh, hey,
It points back, right?
yeah, come on. We understand that it was horrible, but why don't we look at the mass genocide in South Africa or in Africa? A lot worse. A lot more people have been killed in other. So I get that that's in the history books, bad, but there's been a lot worse.
There's tons of bad.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
But as Americans, we always say, "Oh, Nazi."
Yeah.
They go with what they know.
Anyway.
Right? That's what they were taught.
So yeah, so that's all. That's all I'm saying is you can't sit around and just be taken advantage of. You have to be curious, and when you're curious, we grew up encouraged to be curious.
Yep.
And it was called research.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, dig into it. What would your dad say? I don't know. Go look it up. Go look in the
card catalog.
Go to the library. Do some research on it. Read 3-4 books on it.
Learn for yourself.
Here's research now. Hey, Google. Just get Wikipedia.
Well, that's why kids are a little bit more. They have a little bit more answers because they want to be right.
Yeah.
So look at this too. So let's flash back years to where asbestos was the best insulation.
It was the best insulation,
right?
But the problem is,
what was
asbestos? But it's a cancer.
And it was.
It still is the best, but it's got inherent problems.
So asbestosis and mesothelioma are two big killers. Now, when I was a kid growing up on the south side of Chicago, there was a place that used to have mounds that we used to slide down on sleds
on asbestos.
Summer. Yeah,
that explains it.
And it doesn't make you what?
What?
You're just so
gives you brain cancer.
No,
mesothelioma
mesothelioma is not brain cancer. It's lungs.
Here, use your pocket computer to educate.
Get the pocket computer.
What is this, a purse? That explains a lot. So I worked for Local 225.
Need a strap for that?
I do have one.
I work for Local 225 doing a abatement for asbestos and lead.
Yeah.
And I went through education on it and everything else. And so we spent all this money to put it in the schools, to put it in the buildings, to put it in all this place. And then all of a sudden it had to be abated because then they learned later down the line that it was bad, right? But nobody knew that it was bad for you until they started realizing, oh, that was bad for you, right?
Until someone started to research it.
Right.
I mean, somebody questioned it.
Or was it, hey, let's spend a lot of money on really good insulation. Hey, let's spend a lot of money removing that good insulation. You know what I mean?
It could be both. So, it really could be both on that one.
The plastic industry, right, again, has led the way to this. Hey, we'll put books now on audio so we can save trees, so you don't have to create books anymore.
Yep.
Right. And now the old books with the history are now going away, and I can go onto Wikipedia and change facts. Right. Instead of changing facts, we need to change our feelings. But we're more concerned about people's feelings, so we change facts.
Yes. Oh my God. That's your bumper sticker.
That's
right
well
too.
put, man.
Right.
Yeah, that's your bumper sticker for the month.
Sometimes the hashtag pocket computer overloads people with info which can be trouble. Yeah, and that's why I say nobody's curious anymore. I want an answer. Hey Google, I get an answer, and I just accept it.
I was just gonna say, and do they even?
So they're not curious.
To make sure that's it? Well, is that right? Because it's not always just one answer. There can be a bunch of different answers and a bunch of different explanations. But these pocket computers, the answers people get out of it.
Well, even when you get the answer, it's going to be based on the opinion if the answer is
who wrote it?
Good or bad.
But who wrote it? Where'd the information come from? Is there any?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Anybody can write it.
A company that but a company.
It's always going to be the opinion of the person that takes
it's like
that.
Some of these companies that they do studies. Look who paid for the study. Right. So if you have a study on asbestos, good or bad, look for the company who's paying for it. You're following the money. We paid to have this study done. Just like some companies will pay to have a study done on their competitors to show that they're bad. Right.
Right. They use
marketing genius, but also we are a product of what everyone else wants us to think. And if we're dumb enough to not actually take the time and sift through more than one avenue of information, well, then shame on you. Right. So if you're smart enough and curious enough, as Kent says, to look into something, don't take it from, like, if you tell me something, I might listen to you, and because I know you're an intelligent person, I might believe you, but I'm also going to look it up and go, is he really right? Just so I can form my own opinion. And for me, I don't think a lot of people do that.
So that's the difference between you and a lot of others. A lot of people are like you too. They want to look it up. They want to make sure that information is right. And that information might be right on 5 different sites, and it may be wrong on 5 other sites.
Well, I look at,
you have to form your own opinion to that and how that moves.
I look at it from where the information's coming,
if Bob,
and what it has to do with.
And I know we'll get to that in a second, but if Bob told you knew Bob real well, Bob knows everything.
That's my dad,
right? Yeah. All right, Bob. Bob. Sorry, Bob. Don't take this the wrong way.
Forward or backwards, just so you know.
He's dyslexic.
He's dyslexic.
Scott calls him dad.
If Bob constantly tells you one thing or his opinion to something, but you trust in his knowledge because he's right most of the time. and don't look it up. Well, then you're going to be like, well, that's the way it is. And then you're going to tell somebody else. And then they're going to tell somebody else. And that's going to trend within your own network.
Well,
and then next you know that blows up to be. I'm just saying that's how that there's a lot of I don't know what the word would be for that. I'm not that smart, but it's the game of telephone, and that's how that breaks down to be this conspiracy for everything. Everything is a damn conspiracy.
Well, you can turn anything.
What happened to
conspiracy
Q?
all you want.
Anon.
Right, you can turn anything you want into conspiracy like that.
That guy was popular.
Q?
Yeah, Anon. Back when President Obama was in the house, but now Q. Yeah,
we as Americans just need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves and really studying up. Not taking everyone's word for it nonstop, believing it and do it in yourself.
What color is that? Is that brown or is that maroon that you're wearing?
Why?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out.
I don't know. Purple, actually.
Is it a purpley? Right.
Purple.
Go read that up there, would you?
Sure. You want to read that?
Yeah, read that. I can't.
You read that.
I got bad eyes, man.
I got a purple shirt on.
Yeah, I don't know.
All right. So, what greater example would you offer? People choose to mind their business, which I don't know. Which burning Enron may be examples of people knowing things aren't right and going along. It's happening now. Thought contagions. Yeah. Contagions. I think maybe she's contagions or contagious.
Contagions. I don't know.
People, choose to.
Okay. So Shayna, here's what I'll say.
The right information.
Nope.
But then she says we changed definitions, and she's right.
But here's the issue that didn't happen when I was growing up. I didn't give a shit about the people who went along with it. Now I'm so concerned about trying to change people's minds and directions that I get upset and say, screw you, Drew. You're stupid for doing that. Don't you see this happening? And now we start fighting because I'm so concerned about somebody else's feelings. Guess what? I don't care. Fall down. Listen.
You should. All right.
Listen, I love everybody, but what I'm saying is you're going to go out and do something stupid and risky or do whatever. You be you.
I love how your examples are always like a deep south.
Yeah. Right.
Buck 05.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I'm going to kill you with it.
He missed his calling as far as like voiceovers and stuff.
He's always got, dude, one of the best voiceover guys I know.
With all of
that guy right there.
Different voice changes. And,
he's got it. He's got it going on, man. With that.
Yeah, but for 30 years, when Alice and I have been having sex, that narration doesn't work.
Is she throwing out different names? I want you to be this person now.
Can you play this role for me tonight, Kent? Sure.
And just like that, it was over. We'll be back after this message.
And that's when he knew he fucked up.
That's right. All right. So that's what I'm saying is, so let people go along. That's how people learn. Let them fall off their bike. You got to take the training wheels off sometime. Right? You can't be the boy in the bubble.
No.
Eat dirt.
Right.
My God. Right? Get out. Right. And all of a sudden, what did happen to CV19? Boop. Disappeared.
Right.
Boop. Boop. Gone. Right. I'm terminally curious, and sometimes, but Shayna, here's what I know about you.
You need to be.
Here's what I know about you. You can be curious and start going down and go, well, this is a load of crap, but I want to finish going down this hole, just so I can have a good conversation with somebody.
Right. Once you finish, she's got the proper knowledge. I mean, we were talking earlier in the green room, and you'll kind of appreciate this comment, if you will. Right. So for live today like you're going to die, right? Learn today like you're going to live forever. So we need to have a balance with both of those, and this kind of falls into this, right?
Well said.
Right. Live today, do what you can do, control yourself, and right, but also learn and pay attention to the issues that are happening, and make a value, a judgment on if you can help or can't help, right? If it's worth your time, if it's worth your
I understand live today like this is your last day on earth.
Right.
I don't understand learn like you'll live forever.
Well, so the more knowledge you have, knowledge is power. You're learning so you can help better yourself moving forward, right? I mean,
And I'm not.
You
tracking
learn.
on
We
that.
learn new things every day. What is one of your things up there? What does it say? Get better every day.
Yeah.
Getting better every day is learning something new, right? That is a form of getting better, learning something. That way you're more knowledgeable. That way you can speak and teach people, pass down your knowledge.
But you forget stuff as you get older. So I don't understand.
I forget everything.
If I'm
20
150 years old, I'm going to forget what happened when I was 7.
Yeah, but you're
I don't
also
understand.
Gonna remember some of the stuff.
I'm not
as well,
tracking with
pass it
that.
on. No.
Let's think
for
that
you.
a little deeper and maybe rephrase it.
All right. Let's go a lot deeper.
Actually, I like that saying. It's good. I just fucking with you.
That's the motto on his store in the front.
That's right.
Let's
go deeper. Let's go deeper.
Oh,
Hey.
hey. Fantasy Factory. Let's go deeper.
Just when you thought you were there, let's go deeper.
Whoa.
Said,
Term limit.
said the man who could lick his own eyebrow. The
Thank you, Shane. I appreciate that. Maybe I could reword it a little bit different.
No, it's good.
I
No,
think that
I'm
is
just
really
fucking with
important.
you. It's a great saying. You said it earlier today. It's been running through.
I didn't want to say. I didn't want to ruin his moment.
Well, they had the one song that live like you're dying.
Yeah,
whatever it was.
Yeah,
but,
it's Tim McGraw's.
Right, and that's
seconds.
true because that's me, right? I mean, that is kind of I do live that way, but the
You
learning
do.
part is what I'm starting to pick up more and more and more every day because I thought as a kid, like most people, you get out of high school, right? I'm done learning. I don't need to read another book ever again in my life, right? Well, wrong.
Oh, that's 90%. That's 90% of Americans
Right.
only read one book after they graduate.
Right, which is sad, right? Because
Then
there's
they
so
start
much more
drinking the
out there.
Kool-Aid.
Yeah, there's just so much more out there to know and understand, and there's a special way that every one of us is here for to help and do, and to learn that.
Yeah, little Golden Age cinemas.
Golden Age movies, baby.
To me, we've become a society here, America. We've become a society who I have to change your thoughts and your opinions and your beliefs to track with mine. When I was growing up, I looked at you and go, "You're a fucking asshole. I don't want to have anything to do with you." Or, "You're all right, man. You're a good guy. Whatever. I got." You know what I mean? That's how.
Black or white,
that's
right?
how I judge the world. Asshole, not asshole.
Right.
And for years and years and years, I was like, you either think I'm an asshole or you don't. I said, so there ain't no love or hate. It's just you think I'm an asshole because I, as a little kid with a mouth, figure that out, right? But to me, it's like, are you a good person or you're not? If you're not a good person,
that's all based on people. Right? If they agree with everything that you say, right. People got to remember, just because I don't agree with you doesn't mean I hate you.
Yeah,
it instantly turns into
that's
thing.
what turned to cancel culture, right? If you don't agree with 100% me, I want nothing to do with you. And for me,
yes,
for me, that's huge because it makes me look at things differently. I mean,
if
you guys I think about
if you're out there fucking horses, I'm probably going to look at you and go, maybe you should try a saddle, right? I'm just, if you're going to ride a horse, maybe a saddle is the way to go. Right. But I'm not going to judge you. Hey, that's what you're into. Listen, man, I'm not going to partake in this because that's weird to me. So when you're done with that, if you're like, hey, come over, I've got a couple of got a couple of nice ladies, and you're talking about a mare.
The way things are going these days with these pocket computers, it's causing people to be very judgmental of others. You know what I mean? Right off the bat, you're not normal. You know what I mean?
Oh,
you shouldn't be doing that.
Look at Tony the Kid dropping knowledge. Work for a cause, not applause. Live life to express, not to impress. Don't strive to make your presence noticed. Just make your absence felt. Great slogan. I go,
yeah, man.
That's huge.
That's good.
It's a little long for a bumper sticker, but I do like it.
I like it.
But
yeah.
The concept there.
It'll make it on
t-shirt. That's awesome.
Definitely there. I agree with that one. And a lot of people, unfortunately, it's going the exact opposite
So-
direction, right?
So
What can you do to have everyone,
how do you
pay
weigh
attention?
in? How do you weigh in on saying it's better to be kind than right?
Well, I go back forth on that because being right's awesome, right?
Yeah.
But if the person in front of you isn't getting it, sometimes the truth sucks. And so sometimes it's not necessarily being kind, but to get the point across for them to go.
You can be
It would
kind.
case by
Oh,
case
okay.
basis.
You can be
though,
kind
too.
without using kid gloves.
Well,
You
that's
don't have
exactly
to
what that
pussify
is.
Right,
yourself.
but
It has to be
it's a case by case basis.
Yeah.
I mean, in some respects, you could just literally ruin somebody's day, week, month by
sure.
trying to push your being right. Maybe they don't want to hear you being right. Maybe they want to just.
They don't have the conversation.
That's the thing is a lot of people will
That's what
put
I'm
these
saying.
conversations together and
let
expect it.
let me weigh in on this. Change it. It's better to be kind than to be wrong. Understand what I'm saying? So it's not about being right. It's about the people who aren't kind are usually fighting because they're wrong, and they're trying to convince somebody that they are right. So I understand what she's saying, but if you kind of twist those words around a little bit, it's better to be kind and wrong, I guess.
I like.
right?
Well, for me, I like to
Not
always
over.
be kind. I don't like to hurt people's feelings intentionally, right? I mean,
Oh,
and if
I
I'm
do.
giving
It's
somebody
never-
information,
It depends the situation.
Well, right,
True.
but I also want to make.
I'll throw daggers.
I have no
Well,
problem.
no.
Yeah.
But I mean,
For the most part,
right,
I'm pretty kind.
right.
But
Yeah, I
for
mean,
the
but it
ones who
depends on the
for the
situation.
ones who need the
Mhm.
wake up call, and that's going to go into my narcissist. That's next week, I guess.
No,
But-
well, yeah, because we can do this. So Tony, tease it up for next week. Being right is only based on you. That's why agree to disagree, quote unquote, is something on both sides have to agree. Being kind is how you carry yourself. So
Correct.
next week we can go down the narcissist, and one of the worst sayings ever is agree to disagree.
Basically, in a lot of ways, just saying "fuck you," I'm done talking to you, right? I just want to. It's a nice. It's
Hey,
a
that's
polite,
next week. Don't
right?
get
No,
into
but
it.
it's a polite way to be able to walk out of the
Are you
conversation.
That's like
talking
you're your
about
own
it
worst
next
enemy.
week?
We're prepping for next week's
Yeah,
show.
we're teeing
getting
it up.
everyone
It's setting the
excited.
hook.
We're
It's setting the hook. So
Yeah.
next week we'll
It's called
agree.
radio,
Next week we'll agree to disagree, and I think that's a bunch of crap.
paper, and plastic.
Depends.
I know.
I really hate plastic because for some reason my wife doesn't think that you can just throw those in the garbage. I've got plastic bags full of plastic bags full of plastic bags full of plastic bags in my
They go
garage.
into the dump.
No, they sit in my garage. Oh, we'll use it someday.
It'll be something.
You might. You'll give
Gonna
it to
make
your
a kite.
grandkids as a
Make a
present.
kite.
Remember, back when I was a kid, this is what we used
Terrible.
to carry stuff around.
Terrible.
I like to
Instead,
take
now it
I like to
floats.
take my paper bag and put it inside of
Yeah.
a plastic bag.
This-
before I
This whole thing is, I think, Shane,
I'm both.
I
dedicated
like to
to.
stuff it all
to my
inside of a
triggers.
2-liter bottle.
There's another one that I hate, triggers. Anyway, you didn't have triggers when I was a kid growing up. You got pissed or you didn't get pissed.
I like that we need a show dedicated to your
Yeah.
triggers, though, Kent.
That's
Apparently,
fine.
Kent
I don't
doesn't
have
do
any triggers. I think triggers are stupid. That's a trigger.
They're on a pew pews. They're on pew pews.
You definitely have a trigger, Ken.
Hey, listen.
You bulk.
Listen. Bring them. Just throw them at
Shayna,
us.
can you compile some of what
Throw
you're
them at us.
I know that Shayna's got a little notebook
I would
there.
absolutely love it.
Shayna's got her little notebook or computer.
It's
going,
called
"Kent, this."
Adulting Kent.
That's right. Yeah, you guys can adult me. Right? That's right. Better
that's
than
funny.
adulting.
That's
LeBron James. See, now this is we can talk about that too because LeBron James triggers a lot of people.
Does he do sports ball?
Yeah, he does sports ball.
sports
Oh,
ball.
listen, we got to
Listen,
get
we
out
start
of
talking
here.
sports. I'm definitely leaving
Yeah,
because that ain't.
I don't
Listen.
The only thing I know about the grounds in sports is that they run on it.
That's why I call it sports ball. I don't know what it is.
Sports ball.
Yeah. Listen, if you provide the soundtrack, absolutely. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, we got to get
Is it
out of
that
here.
time
Bridging
already?
civil tension coming back.
Nope.
We got a couple of good topics coming back. Bridging civil tension this week. This is also going to be a pretty heated one, I think, which will be fun. And then we've got innovative strategies. We've got the neighborhood pulse. We've got
Exciting.
in the know with Steph and Joe.
Friday's
a
always
lot of great
It's a-
stuff.
It's a good.
Uh,
Yeah, Fridays are good
tonight
days.
at
It's a
8.
jam packed.
Tonight at 8, a new episode of Dream Home Experts. They've done some rearranging. They are working on fine tuning the studio and the sound and everything. So tune in at 8. It's going to be a good one. And just keep enjoying. Share, subscribe, really push things out. We're going to be changing some things too coming up shortly, where each show is going to have their own
That's right.
YouTube page. So when that comes out, we'll bleed them both, but you'll have to start liking each show and whatnot that you want.
Well, and they get
Um,
and I like that because it's going to give them the opportunity to see all the shows for
Yeah.
the for each channel, which
Yeah.
is nice.
So a lot of good things.
Website's coming around the corner. Stay tuned for the Art of Leveling Up with Cappuccino.
Yeah.
That's going to be a good one.
That's
That's going
gonna
to
be
be
a good
about
one.
all the spaces.
Yep. Just talked with a brilliant young lady, new show that's entitled Hey, That Sounds Familiar. Talking all about addiction, all about dependency, all about just, things that people fight and struggle with on a daily
And people
basis.
just need to talk about.
Then let me know what your thoughts are. We might be looking at a show called The Crazy Turtle Taxi Chronicles.
Yeah.
Or the stories of. This man's got over 10,000 Uber rides.
Same
beneath his
time.
belt.
The ground's always on at
Wow.
7:30 Friday morning.
7:30, yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We really appreciate you stopping in and visiting out with us today. And go out there, love, live, enjoy, and be the change you want to see in the world. Thanks for tuning in. See you next week.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, I don't want that. Let's fast forward through that.
You don't like our break time?
No.
Hard rock and roll,
love
baby.
it. Yeah.
Huey Lewis.
All right.